A game about stealth and precise gameplay, broken by speedrunners to achieve the impossible. This was my first submitted run for 007 Agent Under Fire. I had a selection of about 6 GameCube games, and I ended up on 007. I was about a year into speedrun at this point, and I had only run Mario 64. I still had no capture card, but a camera pointed at a TV did just fine for a while. This run had an in-game time of 1:19, yet still far off the end of this level. Around the same time, I joined the 007 speedrunning Discord. Another runner, Alec Kermit, messaged back saying welcome and sent me a link to a general speedrunning guide for the game, and my age just speaks for itself. I'm pretty sure I did end up reading it. I took a step back from bad diplomacy at the time, and I honed my skills in other levels in the game. A bit over a month of running the game, I got pretty decent and smashed my previous run with a 103, putting me tied third. At the time I was so young and I honestly cared a lot about how high up I was on the leaderboard. Instead of my own journey this one level would take me, I put the level down for a couple more months, and kept learning and getting better overall at the game. I returned to bad diplomacy after a while, and this is when I achieved my tied second place time with a 102. This is also when the level started to consume me. At the time, all I could think about was bad diplomacy. I was going through year 9 at the time, and actually funny enough, I ended up failing that year. Maybe because of my infatuation with this level, I started going through VMan's 101, looking at any time save I might have. I spent hours in class and at home just having the 101 on loop, watching it over and over, and a couple of days later, I finally broke through, achieving what I only dreamt of since June of that year. But I knew I wasn't done. The run felt cheap. It didn't feel like I genuinely beat V-Man, since of a strat I found in the Griffin fight. In the Griffin boss fight, you shoot him twice with the dark gun and grab the keycard he drops for one of the mission objectives. For whatever reason, the laser in Q-Claw can also pick up this item, so I discovered that you can kill Griffin while going towards a door and still have enough time to use the laser to grab the keycard. And then Griffin Laser Sex was born. I implemented this into bad diplomacy, saved enough time for me to edge out a 101 and tie a world record at that point. I could have left it and went on to do other things, but that's not what speedrunning is about. November, December, and January went by, and I was grinding as hard as ever. I was putting in about 12-hour grinds a day, averaging 600 to 800 attempts per day for all those months, with nothing than just 101 after 101. Saying it consumed me is an understatement. All I did was play bad diplomacy. All the work paid off in the end, though. One flat, the breakthrough run. What I thought to be the absolute best execution possible. I summed up my emotions in my speedrun.com submission. Yes, one flat was an impressive time, but me and other runners always joked about 059, the first on-foot mission to be sub 1. It always lingered in the back of my head, but it seemed to be impossible, just out of reach. I thought I exhausted every last time save this run had to offer. I had to put the game down for a while after this grind. Months went by and I just played other games and eventually came back and did other ILs in 007. But fast forward to a run that would change the way I saw bad diplomacy and how I saw the 059 to be an impossible feat. Over a year later, a new 80% world record would get submitted. I actually watched the reaction video, and I was thinking about doing some more ILs at the time. As impressive as this run was, what caught my attention was how Jason moved in bad diplomacy, using strafe jumps in these tight hallways to gain milliseconds of time save. I jokingly said in the Discord, GG Jason, but I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. 23rd of November, 2023, I got this run. A truly insane speedrun. Sub 1 has been such an iconic goal for this level for decades, but always just out of reach. There doesn't exist a more perfectly executed speedrun of this game. Alec Kermit. Will this run ever be beaten? Genuinely, no. With what we know now, it will never be beaten. Maybe tied, but never beaten. This was the story of how I achieved the impossible run. Thank you to everyone that made it to the end of the video. This is my first time making a video like this, so if you enjoyed, consider subscribing, and if you got any ideas or improvements I can make for the next video, there will be a pinned comment below. I'll talk to you guys next time.